Welcome back to Sports Today. Normally, our morning wrap or the morning update that we give you where we recap interesting news that has taken place, we generally make it the first video of our day. However, today we did have a match coming up, so you would have seen that there has been a toss update for the first ICC World Cup doubleheader match of the day, that is between the Netherlands and Sri Lanka. If you haven't checked that out, go ahead, check that out as well. But for now, here is all of us catching up on some news that you may have missed out on whilst you were catching up on some all-important sleep. Because while sleep is important for you, me, and pretty much everyone else, the world of sport doesn't really sleep. There's always something happening. So this video, we'll talk about some things that you may have missed whilst you were getting some all-important rest. And we'll start off with a debate or a topic that has been a contentious source of debate in recent times, the 100 that Virat Kohli scored against Bangladesh. Now, whilst a lot of fans were understandably okay and in fact happy with the fact that Kohli got that 100, there were, however, some murmurs from a minority who said that maybe they should have done it a little quicker because net run rate should have been kept in mind. And in fact, we've even done a video on Sports Today on not just our opinions on it, but even the likes of Matthew Hayden, Chiteshwar Pujara agree and say the same thing, saying that, look, maybe you should have been keeping that net run rate in mind, despite the fact that, of course, Kohli had earned the right to that 100. However, there is one player who's gone, or one former player, should I say, who's gone in a slightly different direction with regards to how it is he feels about it, and that is Wasim Akram. What is it that Akram has said? Wasim Akram said during a recent panel discussion that India were winning pretty easily. Century ho raha hai to hone do. If the batter gets a chance to reach a century, then he should by all means that century. They were toying with the bowlers and they were enjoying the batting. Now, again, as I said, a lot of this debate comes down to let's say subjectivity and what you think is okay or not. There is no right or wrong. I or other people may have different opinions. Others will have a different opinion. At the end of the day, the major point of let's say contention was the fact that net run rate comes into effect. But even that is a smaller consideration in the bigger picture. The bigger picture being that India won the ODI against Bangladesh pretty comfortably, maintained their unbeaten start, and will be going into the game against New Zealand with some all-important momentum. That being said, there is an area of concern that certain fans have picked out on and is now being mentioned even by someone who is in fact paid to commentate on the game, and that is the fact that Shreyas Iyer, despite the fact that he's definitely the undisputed first choice number 4 of the team, hasn't really been in that great form. Yes, he did get that one half century, but beyond that hasn't really been doing much. And in fact, he has been implored by Sunil Gavaskar to be doing a lot more than he has been doing in recent times. This is what Saniji said when he was speaking to the host broadcasters of the ICC World Cup. He said that Shreyas Iyer is not getting those hundreds. He's getting his opportunities to bat at number 4 on pitches as good as these, and attacks as toothless as this, and he's throwing away the opportunity. Now, these comments were made in the context of the Bangladesh game, and truth be told, the Bangladesh bowling did not look that threatening, especially on a placid pitch that was put up for show at Pune. However, it is actually a valid criticism in the sense that many others have been consistently among the runs. KL has been, so has Virat, so has, of course, Rohit Sharma. There is more expected from Shreyas Iyer, given that the number 4 position is a very, very important one, and one that you can argue not having any clarity over in 2019 actually cost India at the ICC World Cup. So if you're a fan of Indian cricket, you would be hoping that Shreyas can get his form back sooner rather than later, get some good runs, because a lot of the tracks that India will be playing against now will feature very batter-friendly conditions. You've got Dharamshala, you will be playing in places like Mumbai and Bangalore as well. We've seen how Bangalore plays. We know how it is that Mumbai plays. They will, of course, also be playing in places like Lucknow and Kolkata. Also, generally speaking, places that do offer up batter-friendly conditions. So it is a key time, definitely, if you're Shreyas Iyer, and would do well to heed the advice of Mr. Gavaskar and actually get some big runs. Continuing on with the Cricket World Cup, but switching our focus to a match that we discussed ad nauseum yesterday, Pakistan versus Sri Lanka. And a former Pakistan cricketer is not happy at the fact that Pakistan were so lax in the field as they were against Australia. In fact, Shoaib Akhtar has taken to the website known as X, formerly known as Twitter, to lambast the fielding efforts of the current Pakistan playing 11, saying that they should at least be taking the chances that to come their way. In fact, his exact words were, and I'll read them out verbatim. He said that as it is, you're not able to create opportunities. At least grab the ones which batters are giving. Come on, guys, you can't drop so many catches. And I mean, what more can be said about this? Pakistan's fielding issues, especially when it comes to dropping catches, is something that has been discussed ad nauseum. It doesn't really seem to improve. And this is not to say that they don't coach them when it comes to fielding. At this point, it does feel like a bit of a mentality thing that for so many years they've been such a poor fielding side that it just tends to be imbibed and seep into the mentality of a lot of these players. Mind you, most of them aren't terrible fielders and would actually be doing these catching drills, fielding drills, and everything else that is done in today's day and age when it comes to training. Yet they seem to struggle consistently when it comes to this. If you're looking at, let's say, international level games or high pressure situations, just gets to them instantly. Anyhow, there is, of course, that is the Pakistan side of things, but Australia ended up getting their second win in as many matches, and one of the key reasons for them being able to do that was Adam Zampa. Zampa got crucial wickets, especially at a time when it looked like Pakistan might be able to actually get a move on, accelerate, and do better in the coming overs. He got 2 key wickets. He got rid of even Rizwan when Rizwan was looking set. He got rid of Babar as well. And if you look at how it is he actually has been battling a lot of problems in the build-up to even the World Cup, and even during the World Cup. He's had multiple injury niggles. He's had sicknesses as well. And that's something that, his teammates were talking about in the aftermath. First off, his captain, Pat Cummins, he said that he's been in the bed, he being Zampa, has been in the bed for the last week or two. He was fantastic today and just showed his class. He's a real wicket taker in the middle overs. And that has actually been confirmed even by Zampa, that he's been dealing not only with niggles but also sicknesses that have left him a little bit on the weaker side. To get through all of that and then be able to be such an effective bowler, mind state of a champion, I will say. In fact, one of his best friends in Marcus Stoinis also said that, he also, let's say, pulled the curtain back a little bit on the struggles that Zampa's having. He said that I was very happy for him. He's had a flu, he's had a sore back, he's had a bad neck, and he's had a bad glute. I mean, dear God, that is a lot of injury issues. And not just injuries, just in fact general bodily issues that he's facing, wherein, it's one thing, see, bad back, a sore back, bad neck, and bad glute. That's 3 things. Then on top of that, to have a flu that leaves you bedridden, oof. Most people would just give up and lie down in bed until they are okay. But Zampa's fought through that and become a very, very key player. Of course, he always was a key player. But to be performing at the level that he is with all of these issues, salute Adam Zampa. Nothing more to be said there. Switching our attention now from the world of cricket to the world of sports beyond, and a couple of interesting updates. One is that Novak Djokovic, of course, is the world number 1 right now. He'll be starting his 2024 season at the mixed team tournament known as the United Cup in Australia. That is held as a precursor to the Australian Open. And of course, Rafael Nadal, who, remember, had been announced as being part of the Australian Open. It was said that he'll be making his comeback at the tournament. He is not part of the United Cup team that has been announced by Spain. Now, that's very, very interesting due to the very simple fact that Nadal was expected to be making his comeback. It was confirmed by the tournament themselves. But if he's not going to be playing in the United Cup, what exactly is he going to be doing to get into match rhythm, fitness, or is he just going to come into the Australian Open? Seems a bit of a risk if you ask me, but I mean, you don't really know. You just hope there's not another setback for Nadal, who's pretty much already announced that 2024 will most likely be his final year on the tour. And we'll end this news update with something a little bit funny involving a pretty well-known professional football player in Karim Benzema. Benzema, you remember, is currently playing at Al Ittihad in the Saudi Pro League, and yesterday was involved in the goals as his side secured a 1-1 draw against Al Tawoun. Now, why this is funny is because the 1-1 draw saw Benzema score both goals. He scored the opening goal, gave Al Ittihad the lead, but then ended up scoring an own goal barely 2 minutes later to give Al Tawoun, let's say, the equalizer, and thereafter, that is exactly how the match ended. Pretty funny considering the fact that Benzema, lest we forget, right now is the holder of the Ballon d'Or, although that won't probably be the case for too long now because the ceremony will in fact be starting soon. But how many times has it happened that a striker is responsible for points being shared? I mean, it does happen often, especially if they score an equalizer, but he scored the goal to put Al Ittihad in the lead and then the equalizer for the opposition, and points had to unfortunately be split. And that's it from us from this edition of the morning update or the morning wrap with Sports sports today. Thank you guys so much for joining us. Always awesome to be with you guys at this point of the day. If you enjoyed our work, please don't forget, like this video, share it with your friends, subscribe to the channel, tap the bell, leave us a comment, follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. Don't forget to download the SportsTak app or check out the website. And if you're already on the channel, go ahead, check out some other videos we posted, and stay tuned through the day. Plenty more coming your way. For now, from my side, it's bye-bye.